Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Hope it's working. Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks Road Show. We are back on the road, baby. We are traveling the world currently. It seems like, or at least the smaller towns in the United States. Some of them have had pretty good internets. Hopefully this one is doing well. I would love to hear from you guys whether or not you think that this internet is doing well. We are here, and I am more prepared for this show than I was for the last show. The last show, I just had a couple 50 milliliter bottles and we sort of poured them in. This time we have, I'll just show you. I'll just move these over here. I have a whole camera set up over here. Second camera. Look at all this fun stuff I brought. So, is this something that the hotel gave me? It is not. This is what I had to bring, but that means that we will have very nice cocktails tonight, as well as some. I always try and try something local when I go somewhere. So this is Austin East Ciders is their tropical punch. Some sort of cider. It's good. It's good. It's fine. That's the idea of the show tonight, guys. We're going to make 2 or 3 drinks depending on what we have. I did have to buy a few things at a local market, which is hilarious. I don't know how many other people have ever dealt with an HEB, but I had to deal with an HEB today. And I will tell you all about HEB, and we will make some cocktails for you guys. And then I will probably drink them, and then I will go to sleep. That is how travel shows work, apparently. But first, most importantly, let me say hello to the people. First of all, let me say hello to our good friend, Tiki Tom, the most recently retired of all of us. Hello, Tiki Tom. Good to see you, pal. We have 2 winners. We have 3 winners, but 2 of them won on 1 horse. First of all, the winners of the 2024 Kentucky Derby. The first time that we can announce that since it happened. Here are at least one of the husbands. I would hope, unless somebody has sort of taken over their account. I don't know what's going on there, but at least one of the husbands is here. They won the 2024 Kentucky Derby. And down here, we have DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kentucky Derby. Grant Cushman, my brother, who we don't speak of often for reasons, lots of reasons, is the winner of the 2022 Kentucky Derby. Not a winner of the Kentucky Derby, but has won a paper football flinging contest at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Here is Shawnee P., the most generous man in the community currently. Gave away his opportunity to win the Kentucky Derby, and now we got to find a better name for that. I'm going to need something sort of succinct and short. Kyle is here. I have not been able to get a hold of Kyle today. I was calling to check on the house and the bar, and I could not find Kyle. So it's good to see that he is at least here. That's good to know. This is a fun thing to learn. I know you guys all learned it earlier. Did you guys know that Davy Smart spells his name with 2 R's? I did not know that. It's far enough away normally that I cannot see that second R. So Davy Big Time Smart bringing in those big time R's, killing it. 70 husband, the winner of the 2024 Kentucky Derby, saying the road show working great. Great. Well, we are on our way then. Paulie Bellinardo. Wow. I don't have the soundboard yet for the road show, guys. It's not a thing that we do yet. Paulie Bellinardo. Wow. On the road. Yes, we are on the road and ready to go. Shawnee P saying we're sounding great. That's important. Glenn is asking if I robbed a plane. No, in fact, you cannot buy these bottles on a plane. These are my own bottles. For those of you who don't know what I do for a living, you're join the crowd. I actually don't know what I do for a living either, but one of the things that I do is I teach online whiskey tastings, and I get these small bottles sent to me. Take my here, let me take Glenn's down there. I get these little bottles sent to me all the time, and turns out they are not single use. So I keep them, and I put other things in them, and then it turns out I can just go with it. Shawnee Panabaker did notice Mini Kush. Mini Kush is here. Mini Kush is traveling with me. That's I was going to play a game, Paul. Paul wants to know what is on the TV in the background. I want to see who is the first person that can tell me what I am watching on the television. I would love to hear your guesses. I will give you clues as we get further along. But there's lots of clues you're about to see real quick about what's going on. So hopefully you can do it. Thanks, other coach. We're both here. Good. They're both here. That is good. Yes, Davey Smart with one R was already taken. Well, we know that person, Davey Smart with one R, as Little Time. And this is Davey Big Time, and that is what we got. This is our good friend Richie the Whiff is here. Rich, I will not be shaking with whiffing cubes, turns out. Again, I don't know what happened, but I did bring a bunch of ice onto the plane. By the time I got here, somebody had opened it and pulled it out, and somebody had spilled water all over my stuff. So I don't know what's happening there. Rich Whiffen is saying it looks Jurassic Park-ish. Debbie Clark saying, is it Game of Thrones? Scotty DeBoy with a hey all. That is what we got here. All right, let me go through what I have brought with me so that we can then make some cocktails, right? These are the things. These are, I'm pretty sure of what I have here. So this right here, let's just open it. Give it a little smell. Oh, that is amaretto. That is amaretto. What I wanted to do is, instead of traveling with any kind of sour, I knew that in any place that I got that I landed, I could always find somebody is always selling a lime somewhere. So I went and bought limes. All right. So I did not travel with limes. I did, however, I'll show you this. But you guys can still hear me over here. I always forget. I did travel with lemons. Now, why did I decide to travel with lemons and not limes? I had lemons ready to go. So I just figured we would use some lemons, use that. I also bought one other thing, and I don't know if this is worthwhile or this is even worth it, but I did buy pineapple juice. So we're going to be making some cocktails with that. Okay, what else do we have in here? Well, let me show you the rest of it. So we also traveled with some honey syrup. This is just 2-to-1 honey syrup. You can, of course, I sometimes just like a little simple syrup or whatnot. But if I'm going to travel, I wanted to put a little time into it. So with that, anybody take a guess at what this one is? This one right here is it's blue curacao. It is blue curacao. That is correct. This seems like it has to be. Ooh, that is whiskey. That is a Japanese whiskey. Ah, got it. This is white rum, and this is vodka. Similar, similar, but not the same. Obviously, I think one of them is Bacardi, and one of them is just regular old Tito's vodka. So that is what we have here. Did I bring anything else? No, I think that's about what I brought. I do have tools this time. I did not bring tools last time. I will have a shaker, nice and small, and I will, of course, have a jigger. So I think we're in a good spot right now. I really feel like we're in a good spot right now. So let me say hello to the people that have shown up just a touch late. That's fine. Much better that you show up at all than late, so that or than not show up. Johnny Pandabaker has guessed it exactly right. I know that Richie the Whiff said looks Jurassic Park-ish. It is Jurassic Park-ish, Richie the Whiff. It is actually, in fact, Jurassic Park 2, one of the greatest movies ever made. I will fight you on all of that. I love every Jurassic Park movie equally. They are my favorite movies. We all know my favorite genre of movie is Big Thing Chases Little Thing. Anytime you have Big Thing chase Little Thing, I'm going to watch it. I watched both the Megs. Thought they were both great. Godzilla, some of my favorite movies. Just I love Big Thing, Chase Little Thing. Okay, April DeBoy, oh, Scotty DeBoy is here, and April DeBoy is also here. So good to you. Good to see you, Cyrus. Unfortunately, I do not. I have not figured out a way yet to carry around the soundboard. Eventually, we will get there if these road shows become a real thing. Low Carb Cocktail Guy decided to stop shooting videos to watch the dog. That's great. I love that that happened. We do need more videos in the world, though. LCCG. Am I saying that right? Low carb cocktail guy. We do need more videos in the world, so make sure you get back to it. All right, don't take this as a quick break, but we are going to have to see more of your videos. Daddy Cyrus has been working for 15-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week for the past 2 months. That is too much, Cyrus. That is too much. And he has a 6-month-old. Dang, I really wish I could give you all the sound effects to help you out with that. Okay, why not put our hat backwards? Why not? I think just to get us ready, we should do a road daiquiri. I think that that's important. I think it's important that all of us has a daiquiri. So we're going to start over here with this. I want to just, I think what I want to do is I want to take the daiquiri and then I kind of want to expand it out a little bit. I read about this cocktail recently it was called Texas Tiki. That's the name of the cocktail. It was created by a guy out in Jersey, and I mean, who knows Texas better than the gangsters out in New Jersey? Nobody. They're basically the same type of people. So I wanted to make a daiquiri first, and then sort of make that a little bigger into a cocktail called the Texas Tiki. That's why I brought all of these things, and then maybe we'll see if we can make something else out of this stuff. But we'll start here. We're going to start with, I don't have a cutting board. Eventually, we will have the whole travel kit ready to go. But as we are learning what travel kits need, we're going to go here. I do not travel with this knife. This knife was a gift from the hotel. So, of course, if we're going to do a daiquiri, we want to cut our lime correctly. We want to get in here in the middle, cut out all of these bits here, right there. Just cut right there on the side. Excellent. Now we have our 5 bits of lime. And let's squeeze that in. So squeeze in, I'll get down here. We need about 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. You guys know how daiquiri works. I think more the interesting part of this is watching me buffoon around making a daiquiri. So go ahead and didn't mean to do that. Squeeze it in. Nice and heavy squeeze right there. And really, anytime we're doing a cocktail that is lime forward, something that is famous for its lime, if it's just one of the ingredients, you don't need to do this. But if it's famous for its lime, things like the margarita, right? You think of margarita, you can't really separate margarita from lime. You think about a gimlet. You can't separate a gimlet from lime. You think about daiquiri, you can't separate a daiquiri from lime. You want that lime flavor. So we're going to go ahead and just drop these in. So just go ahead and squeeze there and drop, squeeze here and drop, squeeze here and drop. Now, Texas limes, just like everything else here in Texas, seem to be very juicy. I've noticed that's everywhere I go, it seems to be juicy in Texas. So that is what we are learning right now. I don't carry sugar with me, and I looked all over the place in here. Oh, maybe I see some up there. You know what? It doesn't matter because we brought honey syrup, and oh, this is fun. One of the winners of the 2024 Kentucky Derby is a Texan. Oh, he married a Texan. Michael husband does. He married. Oh, it's a weird way to admit for Stephanie husband that she's a Texan. Either way. I believe the proper nomenclature is yeehaw, y'all. I don't know. I mean, I pretend like I'm not, like I don't know much about Texas. I grew up in Arizona, which is like baby Texas more than anything. So it's not. I'm with you. Okay, this is honey syrup. Really, for this drink, if you're going to use any kind of sweetener, find one that you like. I love honey. If you want to split the base of this sweetener, super possible to do that too. If you want to just add a little bit of honey, you don't like honey, don't add honey. Don't. I'm not forcing you to do anything, guys. I'm stuck in a hotel in the middle of a teeny tiny little town. Um, but you can also use all kinds of booze. Like I said earlier, I do have some amaretto. That would be nice in here if you want to make a little blue situation. Keep putting them like you guys can see them. You want to put a little blue carrot. So just find a nice sweetener. The only issue with just adding a sweetener is that you're gonna have to balance it to whatever juice you have. So you may have to go through, give this a little sip, and then maybe add a little bit more sweetener. Or I had an emergency phone call from a good friend of mine last night, Carl. I think we've talked about Carl before. He's a buddy of mine. He works for Amroth. He's the guy that distributes Kiss rum. Frantic phone call. I had to wake up early to catch a flight. I think I got this phone call at like 1 a.m. Called me twice. Had to get a hold of me. And he said, and he has this very lovely Swedish accent, which is the only way that I wanted to be woken up that morning, was with a very deep Swedish accent. And he said, Cushman, I think he called me Lord Cush. I think he called me the weird customs out in Sweden, it turns out. He has said, what can I do? I've put too much lime in a cocktail and I don't want to add more sweetener. What do I do to make this drink less sweet? Thank goodness I was in the middle of some sort of fugue state, did not understand what was going on. So I didn't have any thoughts to block the next words out of my mouth. And the next words out of my mouth were baking soda. And that is true. If you add just a little bit, if you put too much lime or too much lemon or too much very sour orange into a cocktail, and then you put just a little bit of baking soda in there, that'll neutralize some of that acid. Now, if you put too much, you're going to get a tummy ache. So don't put too much. Start by just little drips and drabs. Um, I'm not going to be putting any baking soda. I'm gonna wing this. And if it's not the perfect mix on this version right here, you guys will never know. That's the best part about bartending online, is that you guys will never know. You guys don't know how limey this lime is. So have I lied to you guys before? Never. Will I possibly in the future? Possibly. 3/4 of an ounce of some honey syrup right here. Let me say hello to our good friend who is back in action. We have not seen a Loriander for a long time, but Loriander is here. Loriander he and I started off talking about um, elderberry, or sorry, elderflower liqueur. That's where we started. As I called it elderberry and he called it elderflower, and he was right. And now he has become a longtime watcher of the show. Hopefully, you're doing well there, Loriander. We freaking love you. Bon Bon is here. She has seen Mini Kush. She calls her Timmy Kush, but I think Timmy Kush is pretty nice too. But his name is Mini Kush. His name is Mini Kush. All right. Now let's find the. Let's get rid of Bon Bon's comment here. There we go. This is a rum here. Very simple, very easy. These are 2.5-ounce bottles, which is, of course, why then I have to bring a jigger, because I can't just pour those out. We're going to be putting in 2 full ounces. We got about half an ounce left here. That'll be for a snack later, I guess. That's all right, Bon Bon. It is Tiny Kush is also. Oh, give me 1 second. Oh, give me a second, guys. I just got to answer this. Hello? Is it 1 second. Is this Bill? Guys, sorry. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Sorry. The what is too loud? I'm sorry. There are oranges being thrown into the back of your house. Sorry, just 1 second. This is my neighbor. I just gotta figure this out real quick. I'm sorry. What is being thrown into the back? Oranges are being thrown into the back. No, no, of course, we did not say anything about having any lights and anything flashing back there. We would never. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How many people are back there? You have to be kidding me. Okay. All right. So it's basically it's a gargantuan party happening in the back, orange lights everywhere, and just crazy dancing. Okay. Okay, I'll give him a call. All right, bye. Turns out, turns out, Kyle is throwing a party in the back of the bar currently. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, Kyle's having a rager. Kyle is in trouble. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think yeah, Dippy says go Kyle. Stephanie says Kyle's having fun. Okay, well, honestly, we're gonna have a long conversation with our good friend Kyle here because apparently there is a gargantuan orange themed party. Oranges are flying into people's backyards right now. Kyle was here earlier. I don't know what is going on. Great. Well, we'll deal with that later. Loriander says baking soda. I can't even. I'm having a hard time even concentrating. Baking soda gives it a weird aftertaste. I totally agree, Loriander. You want to really, really be careful, and you really only want to do that with batched cocktails. Adding any kind of a baking soda to your cocktail to neutralize some of the lemon, it will give it a bit of a taste. You do not want to do that unless it's an absolute emergency. But baking soda will neutralize some of the acid in the cocktail. Um, Bonbon says, "Wait, there were only 2 oranges left on the tree 3 weeks ago." Yeah, um, I have a weird feeling that Kyle brought his orange party over. Kyle has this is a weird thing that Kyle does. Other than throwing huge parties the moment that I leave, um, Kyle is part of an online group of orange enthusiasts. So I have a feeling that all the orange enthusiasts did bring over their oranges, and now they are doing some sort of ritual. And we're gonna have to figure that out. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get some ice real quick while we're doing that. While I'm figuring out what to do about Kyle, what kind of punishments Kyle needs to be on. We are using. Oh, let me bring this down here. We are using this QB ice, or sorry, this very crushy ice. You got to kind of go with what ice, whatever ice the place you have has. And since we have all this little ice right here, we're going to have to be very careful about our shake. All right. Obviously, if we had large, big cubes of ice, let me just say real quick, I am definitely going to go back at some point in this show. This says there's very little lumbar support that I got going on. This since there's this teeny tiny little ice, we are going to have to shake very softly. Basically, just giving it a little bit of this right here is going to melt. The smaller your ice, the more melting surfaces are on there. So, like the more jagged your ice is. I read a statistic a little bit ago. Everybody says that Colorado has 4 sides to it. It's a perfect sort of square. Turns out there's thousands of sides to Colorado because none of the lines are actually straight. That's kind of the way that this whole thing works. We have teeny tiny little ice in here, and each one of those little jigs and jags ends up being a a bit of um, a bit of melt, just like a melting point. It's like a place where something is touching it. So that part can then melt. So you will over ice your cocktail if you shake too hard with this jiggy jaggy. But let me just say goodbye to Bonbon. I have not been following the Bonbon saga. Bonbon is off to a show at this point. So Bonbon, always a pleasure, never a chore. I will read the I'll read the rest of the chat later. Okay. Anyway, nice, easy shake. If we had one large cube, obviously we could shake longer. We could get it colder, but that is not the case here. We are just going to, let's get this here. There we go. A nice, easy honey daiquiri. What did I say, Richie? I mean surface area. What did I say? Surface. I must have said something else. Yes, I meant surface area. Obviously, I meant surface area. That is what I mean. But I'm going through a lot right now. Clearly, I have a bar back that's is unable or unwilling to treat me with any kind of respect, and um, I'm away from the bar, which is not where I want to be. So let's give this. Obviously, we want to give this just a little bit of a garnish if we can. If you can, when you're away from a place, it's nice to just give yourself a little creature comfort. This is just a little DAC. So we'll throw this right on here, and there we have it. This right here, my friends, already made this entire hotel desk. Surprisingly enough, they don't give you non-stick surfaces to make drinks on in most hotel rooms. I don't know. I don't know who we call about that. The president? Maybe that's what they're going to be debating about. Cheers to all of you. Mm, my goodness. Lori, oh my gosh, that's so good. You're not going to get a cocktail like that in a lot of places, guys. Most people don't know how to make a daiquiri, unfortunately, or if they do, they are unable to because they don't have a blender. The moment somebody tells you that they can't make you a cocktail because they don't have a blender, or they can't make you a daiquiri because they don't have a blender, that's not the bar for us. We go somewhere else. There's plenty of bars in the whole world. All this traveling has taught me that there are lots of places to go. Lots of other bars. There we go. You know, there it is. Loriander asking what's wrong. Not much, other than Kyle is hopefully Kyle. Well, hopefully the police don't show up at some point. Kyle is really having his way with the house currently. Hmm, very nice. Okay, put that to the side. Um, let me tell you about where I went today. Just before we get into this, I went to a place called I don't know. I don't know what it's called. To be very honest, I don't know what the words mean. I don't know what the. I don't know how to put this into. I don't know how to explain what I mean. Um, it's spelled HEB, HEB, and it's apparently it's a grocery store. It's kind of like if Walmart if Walmart like lost a lot of money in some sort of Ponzi scheme and then had to, cut back an awful lot, that's what the HEB is. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying Walmart's some sort of, mecca of a decadence or anything, but the HEB is maybe one step lower. Turns out it's named after HEB. People just say, hey, we're going to go to the HEB or the HEB. They might even say HEB. I looked it up. I wanted to see what it was. It's somebody's initials, and the man's initials, who it is a man named. And you guys love. I know that I love funny names. I mean, Harry Johnson, one of my favorites. This is a guy named Harold E. I could never figure out what the E was, but Harold E. Butt, and Harold E. Butt started this grocery store. And Stephanie is saying a great grocery store chain. Now, maybe just the one that I went to was a little rough. But Harold E. Butt decided we don't have enough groceries here in Texas, so I'm going to start this whole grocery chain, and not only grocery stuff, but everything. What do you need? Oh, you need everything? I have it. I am, of course, famous Texan Harold E. Butt, and I got that for you. So I was there, and I was able to find everything I needed. I thought that maybe Texas did not serve alcohol. I was able to get cider there. No hard alcohol. Thank goodness I bring my own now whenever I travel. Um, So I was able to get a few things. So I do want to make this cocktail. I want to see what we think of it. Like I said earlier, it is called the Texas Tiki cocktail, created by a guy up in New Jersey. I don't have much more about him. I guess his name is Norman Strobel. Um, Norman Strobel. And I figured we just make it. Let's just see what we think about this one. So we're gonna start over here. It does call, and in Grand Texas and New Jersey style. We're gonna start with vodka. So this is a vodka. I wouldn't normally travel with vodka. I feel like maybe just travel with anything else on Earth as opposed to vodka. But I did travel with vodka today. We're gonna go ahead and put in an ounce and a half of some vodka. There we go. The reason that I really like this one is because I was really not interested at all in traveling with orgeat. I like orgeat. I like it plenty, but it does look odd in these little bottles. I tried my very best not to get flagged by TSA. However, I did. I'll show you what I did bring. I don't like to. I'm I like food. I like the food that I like. You know, I'll go out and whatnot. But I did bring burritos. I do feel it's. I mean, maybe not the greatest plan in the world to bring burritos to Texas, kind of like bringing beach to the sand, or your own violin to the opera. It's not exactly the idea of what's going on, but I do come from Southern California, and we have better Mexican food than Texas. I mean, I don't want to start a riot or anything, but there is Southern California has the best Mexican food. I mean, obviously Mexico has the best Mexican food, but next to that, SoCal, any day, no doubt about it. Fight me. I will. I'm saying some controversial stuff on the road since nobody can find me right now. Anyway, I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to get dinged with somebody asking what is that, and then I have to say it's orgeat, and they say, "Well, go back to France, you big Frenchie. We're going to kick you out of the country." This is the country I live in. I don't know any of the other countries, so not interested in being kicked out of this country currently. So instead, I brought amaretto, and it's like orgeat, not exactly like orgeat. But it does have, if you are in a pinch and you need something that is going to sort of stick around for a while, orgeat obviously has a shelf life. You need something that's going to stick around for a while. Amaretto is a really good thing to substitute out orgeat for. So I travel with orgeat now. Oh, sorry. So I travel with amaretto now. This is what it is. Let me get all these recipes. This is not a recipe that I know offhand. Let's go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce of some amaretto. Let's get down here. Whoop. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Yes. Um, Funny enough, a lot of people think that amaretto is like amaretto means like almond because it does taste a lot like almonds. In fact, amaretto, speak a little Italian, no fa niente, veli, tutte post. Amaretto means little bitter, little bitter. Amaretto is more intense in the marzipan flavor, in my opinion. Yeah, it is certainly not the exact same thing there, Loriander, but it is close enough. If you need it, amaretto is actually made of crushed stone fruit pits. Crushed stone fruit pits, and that will give you all of that big. It's going to give you some of that almond flavor. It's going to give you some of that big sweet. It's going to give you some of that floralness. Amaretto is a really fun thing to play with, and I am now very excited to hear that the low carb cocktail guy is going to be subbing amaretto for orgeat. I think that we're going to need to get a quick carb count on amaretto, but whenever you have a really crappy um, a mai tai, usually one of the crappy parts is that they have substituted amaretto for orgeat 1 to 1. That you can't do that. You got to figure out. There's got to be something in between there. That's one of the. Oh, just real quick, guys. In case you were wondering, the way that low carb cocktail guy makes amaretto, zero carbs. My goodness, we're about to have a zero carb Mai Tai revolution in this country. It's going to be like the opening scenes of Three Body Problem. Anybody seen that? Loved it. I loved that show. I read all the books though, so we need a lemon. This desk is already just well beyond uh, sticky, so we'll just clean it up later. Because we don't want a bunch of those seeds, we are going to do the knife trick. We're going to run this right along the side of a knife. That's going to keep a lot of those seeds back. There we go. DC Debbie Clark saying, as kids, we crushed peach pits and ate the seeds. Bitter but good. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, that's what amaretto is. That's amaretto is stone fruit crushed up like that. So it is, the way that she described it is, of course, exactly right. She said, bitter but good. Amaretto just means etto. If you put etto at the end of something, it just means little. And Amaro, we all know the term Amaro, the Amari, the great Italian bitters. That's Amaro. So it's Amaretto. It's just a tiny little bitter. The more you know. We got to get graphics. More you know. Okay. We put in. I'm just taking a guess at how much eventually made in there. Half an ounce. We also need, and thank goodness I bought this whole thing. We need half an ounce of some pineapple juice. The one thing I will say for the Heb, for Harold E. Butt and his chain of grocery stores, is that it was cheap. Gas was also $3, which I'm actually going to leave a lot of my clothes and other things that I packed here and just pack my whole backpack full of gas because that does seem to make financial sense. Might be a little tough to get on the plane, but at $3 a gallon, I got to try. I have to try. It seems like somebody's saying, I have the lottery ticket for you here, pal. You just got to find a way to make it through these sprinklers. Um, and I would run through those sprinklers and figure that out. Okay, give this a big old shake. Always shake your pineapple. Pineapple tends to settle towards the bottom. We need half an ounce of pineapple. I don't have my feet going here. Half an ounce of pineapple here. There we go. We got our amaretto in there. Uh, we got our pineapple. That's all the pineapple I think we're going to use. We are also yes, Harold Butt. See, look, our cocktail guy and I think exactly alike. His name was Harold E. Butt. He's Hair E. Butt. Better than Harry Johnson. I mean, it is undeniably a better name than Harry Johnson. This is blue curacao. Um, I'm not trying to take swings at every state I can. But New Jersey, and let me just say, I've been to New Jersey a couple times. I like New Jersey very much. New Jersey gets a really bad rap for some reason. I don't really get. Maybe it was Sopranos or something. Maybe it was before Sopranos. Maybe it was Bon Jovi. I don't know why New Jersey gets such a bad rap. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun in New Jersey. The one thing I don't think about when I think about New Jersey is Tiki. Same thing, exact same thing with Texas. And this is a cocktail created in New Jersey called Texas Tiki. Of course, they are going to take big swings. And one of the big swings they're going to take is by putting in what a lot of people consider to be a quintessential, excuse me, I got the hiccups for some reason, a quintessential Tiki ingredient, and that's blue curacao. We're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce. Now, if you don't want your drink to turn out blue, good for you. Honestly, you're doing a lot of the right stuff right now. But um, but if you don't want your drink to turn out blue, just use regular curacao. Find a dry curacao. Find a curacao that you like, whatever. They do make green curacao and red curacao. They make clear curacao. They make orange curacao that is actually orange. They make all that fun stuff. Find a way, find a curacao that you like. Um, you don't have to put in blue curacao. It just is. It's. I've been really hard. I've been really thinking a long time. Maybe Loriander can help. I know Loriander knows a lot about this stuff. A low carb cocktail guy knows a lot about this stuff. Loriander asks, maraschino liqueur can be used as well. Maraschino liqueur, not as much. You really need that. You need some of that marzipan taste. You need some of that almondy, that almond meal to it. And although the amaretto isn't exactly an almond meal situation, it's stone fruit. Um, it is. Yeah, I don't think you can switch it out. You can certainly maraschino liqueur can work in there. You had to find um, something to do. Let me tell you guys ever. You guys like quick stories? I got a quick story. Jay Carter's here, and Jay Carter's got to run. That all happened within the span of 2 minutes. So, hey, Jay Carter. Bye, Jay Carter. Always a pleasure, my friend. Never a chore. Bam, 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 etc., etc. Jay Carter is in. Jay Carter is out. The next video is the Blue Hawaiian. I kind of feel called out. No, no, no. There's nothing wrong with a Blue Hawaiian. One of the great cocktails in all of Tiki is the Blue Hawaiian. Don't feel called out even a little bit. They're low carb cocktail guy. But a lot of people do think that because the Blue Hawaiian was so quintessential, was such a popular drink, that you have to make all of your tiki drinks blue. And you do not. That is not a necessity at all for tiki drinks. Let me give you guys an idea of what kind of ice we're working with. This is very crushy ice. We're going to go ahead and do that. We got to fill it a touch more. Um, there's nothing wrong with blue drinks. The problem with blue drinks is oftentimes they're an indication that somebody doesn't know exactly what they're doing. So instead of taking time to like balance out a drink correctly, they just throw some blue in there and now it's fun. So now it's just a fun drink and now we don't have to worry about the rest of the ingredients. That's a big problem with tiki always is everybody thinks that it's only about how much juice and colors and explosions you can put on there. But really, tiki is as balanced, if not more balanced, than any other form of cocktails because it has to be. Um, Tiki would not have taken off if it was just about putting as much juice as possible. And people are smart. People didn't, I imagine most people walked into the original Dawn on the Beachcomber thinking, oh God, look how big that drink is. It's going to be so juicy. And then they had one and then probably fell over after they had two because it is a kind of it's more about the rums and the mixtures and the mixing and the blending and the parity of flavors and the umami, etc. Um, uh, my point being, I've lost my point. My point being that normally when you see blue drinks, it's because people are just putting it in there so that now, oh, now it's tiki. But there are great drinks that have blueness to them. We're going to see if this is one of them. This is called the Texas Tiki, created in New Jersey for Texas. I don't think I judged the size of this drink right at all. Oh, maybe I did. Oh, gosh. No. All right. Well, we're going to have to count that as a win, folks, because that did not seem like that was going to work even a little bit for a while. We're going to put the rest of this crushy ice on top. If you have crushed ice, if you are doing a drink that has any kind of crushed ice to it, you want to put more you want to put more you want to put more ice into the drink than needs be because what we were talking about earlier, crushed ice is going to melt faster. So if you have this layer on top that is keeping the rest of this cold, then that will stop some of this ice from freezing or from thawing too quickly. So more ice, really pack it in there. If you only put a couple pieces of really tiny chipped ice in there, that ice is going to melt almost instantly. It's not going to do any kind of chilling for you. This is where the Tyrannosaurus runs through San Diego, in case anybody was wondering. Probably get this demonetized because I've had this playing in the back the whole time, but what am I gonna? I think I might lose out on. I think I might make 8 cents off of doing this whole thing. So the ingredients alone cost at least that. So I'm already losing. Goodbye, Cyrus. Always a pleasure. Never a chore. Okay. Yes, Stephanie Husband, the winner of the 2024 Tucky Derby. The husbands, Texas Tiki, created New Jersey. That's exactly right. I did not realize how close to home this is going to hit for some of you, but the winners of the 2024 Tucky Derby are basically having their relationship summed up in one very blue drink right here. So that's what we got. I've never tried this one. It is a vodka drink. It's one of those rare vodka tiki drinks. See what we think. Let me see if I can find a straw. It's good. Um, there's no way they just like give straws to you in a hotel, right? No, definitely not. It's good. Let me be very honest with you guys. Um, uh, I I don't know why they went with vodka. None of the other flavors are so important to this that it was necessary. But normally, give a theory on vodka if you guys don't mind. Vodka usually works best if one, you don't like the taste of alcohol. That's when it works the best. Two, you have something so interesting going on in the rest of the cocktail, but you need to boost some of the booziness, some of the you need to sort of dilute some of the sweet by giving it that, I don't even know what flavor alcohol has, but it has that, like, that bite. Balancing out that a little bit is what vodka is really good at. Um, that's really the reason. So in a drink like this, where it's not like, oh, the amaretto is so interesting and crazy. Um, yeah, Lori understanding aquavit, gin, or anything else is better. Honestly, for this one, and I know it seems um, kind of trite. Find yourself a really thick, interesting white rum. Paul, our good friend Paul, saw him the other day. He dropped off a bottle of Spike's Breezeway, just put out a very interesting white rum. I thought that was kind of cool of Spike to put out a great white rum. And it is, um, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was and I think that this specifically. Oh no! Oh, we've frozen. Oh dang. Well, we can't go back to that camera anymore. It's all right. This show's almost over. Uh, I think that would have done very well in this. Anyway, yeah. Paul says vodka works best if you are a serial killer. He's not. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Wrong. He's not exactly right, but he's not like way off. Anyway, Plantation 3 star would work really well. Absolutely, Tiki Tom. Yeah, Plantation 3 star would work really well. I'm telling you guys, we're gonna do a whole show soon on. Maybe we'll do a review of the Spike, the Breezeway rum. I haven't really like sat down and wrapped my head around exactly what's going on there, but it's really really good, and we'll probably do that here soon. So, mm. I think that's kind of it. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I We could make another drink, but I don't even know what to make. So I brought all these as, like, I don't know, just in cases, and we've put together a full show. So that's, I feel like we've done it. I don't know. I feel like, let me just I'll give you guys my theory on the road shows. The road shows, I think, are a lot of fun, except for I have not found a place that I can do them where I can stand. And when I am sitting, I lose energy pretty quickly. So it is, uh, I don't think they're quite as dynamic as I would like them to be. But we are Clearly this works. I'll show you guys. I just got this guy right here. This is called a travel router or a travel router. I don't know what it is, but it's a travel thing. So now when I come to a hotel, or more importantly, anybody's house I go to, this thing helps boost the signal. Somebody's going to tell me that I'm wrong, and I would appreciate that. But for right now, it's working really well because I can plug in my computer and I can have a direct connection instead of going off of Wi-Fi. I'm going off of direct connection, which is why I think these shows are working. Now, um, I don't know. People are having a tough time finding spikes. Low carb cocktail guy just got it. Yeah, low carb cocktail guy. If you get a chance, I haven't even looked for it. Paul was able to find me a bottle and bring it over. It's an amazing white rum. It really, I mean, Spike. Spike seems like one of the nicest dudes of all time. I would love to chat with Spike at some point. I've not had the chance to meet him yet, but hopefully at one of these Tiki conventions soon I will. But man, did he and Ed Hamilton put together an amazing rum. Really, really happy to see that it's a white rum that tastes like rum. The even the white rum we used today for the daiquiri was Bacardi, and obviously that's a long history of rum right there, but it doesn't taste like rum. Low carb cocktail guy, or Tom Hubbard. Cannot find it in the Midwest yet. That sounds about right. It seems like it might have a small. It's also tough to find. Excuse me, my goodness. Texas makes me hiccup. Um, uh, I don't know. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. The Midwest just doesn't have it. Even in LA, it's hard to find. Though it's being bought out. So maybe that's the case. Um, and Shiny Panda Baker can't find it in Balmer, Hun. So hopefully one day it'll get there. Um, Carukera Rum Blanc Agricole, 50% is insane for cocktails. I haven't even seen that one. All right, well, we're gonna look for that one too now. Loriander. I love a good white rum. Comes in pretty cheap, but also like tastes like a big rum. That's what I like. Low carb cocktail guy is saying that Ed does nothing wrong. I agree. Um, I agree. He seems like Ed Hamilton, and this is not a slight against him. This is not a. This is nothing against Ed Hamilton. Seems like he is. He doesn't like being on camera, and people keep trying to bring him on camera. I feel like people are always like, "Oh, let's interview Ed Hamilton. Let's bring Ed Hamilton." It's kind of like, and I mean this in the best way. He is kind of like Robert De Niro in that Robert De Niro is. You would think that Robert De Niro is going to be an amazing interview. You're going to bring on it Robert De Niro, and you're going to talk about all the crazy stuff that Robert De Niro comes on to talk about. And Robert De Niro, you know what he likes? Acting. He doesn't like talking about acting. He doesn't like any of that stuff. Every time I see Ed Hamilton on an interview, I'm always like, you should have brought Ed Hamilton on. He's all that information. He seems like a real good conversation guy versus an interview guy. I may be wrong. Maybe I'll bring him on, and and then we can judge from there. But that's what Ed Hamilton seems like to me. I would love to sit down and chat with him over some rum. I'm not positive that he likes being on camera, so I don't think I'll ask him. Not that he's knocking down the door to get on this show, but maybe one day. Maybe one day he will be. Um, uh, Spike has managed to get him on camera at least twice, maybe three times. No, absolutely. No, Spike brings Ed Hamilton on all the time. And every time I see it, I have to think, I think Ed wants to be somewhere else. And nothing against Spike, nothing against Ed. There are some people that just do not like being on camera. And I have a feeling that that's Ed. He's always great. He always does great work on Spikes. The two of them, I've watched all the stuff that they've done. I think they've been on maybe four times. I always like when they talk, but Ed always seems like a guy that would much rather be sitting in a booth somewhere as opposed to on camera. All right, well, before I keep putting my foot in my mouth, I meant all of that as huge compliments. I think those are two great guys, two really, really interesting guys that are bringing the culture up, and love that. But I have a way of talking myself into corners. That, as my friends say around here in Texas, is it, y'all. We have done a travel show. We did it for 55 minutes. How did we do 55 minutes? Too long, I think. But I vote too long. I don't think that that's how long we should be doing these shows. 12 minutes. I think we should do 12-minute shows. And yet here I am, still talking. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back on a regular schedule, regularly from Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks Bar. I think it's called the Exotic Drinks. Um, we will be back there on Tuesday for Tiki Tuesday. We will have Thursday. We'll be doing Thirsty Thursday, and then we'll be back with a Saturday show. All of those this week will be from Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Now that I say that, I got to think about it. I think that's right, but we're gonna have to figure it out. But there's no travel coming up anytime soon. As always, guys, you guys are the greatest, and hopefully you learned something tonight, or at least you got to see the pretty green lights, and you got to watch a movie. At least the last half of the movie. We did go to the very end of the movie. What do we always say, guys? We say, first of all, are you Dr. Jenga Jenga? And then we say goodbye. I did hear from Kyle. Turns out it's some sort of misunderstanding. Um, but I am waiting for the police report. So as we find out more about Kyle and his shenanigans, I will let you guys know. As always, goodbye. Thanks. Goodbye.